But you said it's you and Joshua here. Now, is this fight done? What are we talking about?
You know, it's going to happen. Like, seriously, it's going to happen. We were talking with Turkey tonight, negotiations live in person.
Former world champion, he's now being talked about as an opponent for Anthony Joshua. Can that fight happen?
I think the fight can absolutely happen. I'm looking at it as Jake versus Joshua, which is quite biblical and it's quite impactful in many ways.
Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, a fight once thought impossible, is now closer to reality than ever. Reports suggest the colossal crossover bout is being seriously negotiated, with January 2026 marked as the target date. Paul's manager, Nakisa Bidarian, has confirmed early talks with Joshua's camp and promoter Eddie Hearn, with Saudi boxing power broker Turki Al-Alshik pushing to stage the spectacle. Venues under review include Wembley Stadium.
In terms of those active discussions, how far have things progressed? Is it something that you can see happening next for Jake and for AJ?
I think we're looking at it happening in Q1 of 2026 is kind of the current discussion. I think it's public that AJ was taking a little time away. I think he had a little surgery. So once he's ready and once Jake is ready, we're going to squarely focus on that.
There are some concerns, aren't there, within the boxing world about Jake fighting someone as powerful as AJ. How much of a worry is that? We saw what he did to Ngannou.
So power is obviously the last thing to go. So obviously AJ has a ton of power and he's still fairly young.
Stadium, US arenas, and sites in the Middle East. Paul, fresh off his win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., has openly declared Joshua as his next target. He revealed that Joshua himself suggested late 2025 as a possible date, leading to a full-blown clash in early 2026. "It's going to happen," Paul said. "This is one of the biggest fights of the decade. Don't let boxing politics ruin it. Get in."
Now, I know you're after a world title, but if that doesn't materialize, I know the Tommy Fury name has been floated about. Is there any other fighters who may not be world champions that you're looking to face?
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Joshua.
I think that's the main one that, we've talked a lot about is if it's not for the title, it's looking at Tommy, if he's reasonable, and then Anthony Joshua. And he's adamant that he wants to make that fight happen at the end of 2026.
Anything's possible. And so I like the challenge. People, that's the criticism. Fight someone in their prime who's a beast. I think people just want to see me lose. That's really what the message is behind it all. And Anthony Joshua is an insane fight, but I want that challenge. We've been DMing back and forth. He wants to make it happen. He called me up, and it's looking very likely for next year.
The ring and fight like men. Eddie Hearn confirmed that discussions are real but issued a stern warning, reminding Paul that Joshua is still a dangerous heavyweight despite recent setbacks. Jake Paul could last 3 rounds with Anthony Joshua. "Maybe," Hearn said. "This isn't a 50-50th fight. AJ's power is very real."
I want to fight Anthony Joshua exclusive because I know that I will beat Anthony Joshua. I know I will beat. Knocked out, right? Yeah. He doesn't have a chin and he has no skill and he's stiff. And I love you, Anthony. We're friends. But I want to fight you. I will beat Canelo. I will beat a lot of people. I will not beat David Benavidez.
Still, the hype is undeniable. Paul has doubled down on his callouts, even saying, "I will beat Anthony Joshua. He doesn't have a chin, he's stiff, and I know I can rise against all odds." He insists the fight would be good for boxing, bringing new energy, younger fans, and mainstream attention to the sport. The matchup has sparked fiery debate. John Fury bluntly said Joshua would knock Paul out easily and that anything else would be fixed. Yet Tyson Fury shockingly claimed he'd bet.
But you said it's you and Joshua here. Now, is this fight done? What are we talking about?
You know, it's going to happen. Like, seriously, it's going to happen. We were talking with Turkey tonight, negotiations live in person, which are always fun. But it's going to happen, and it's just such an exciting fight that crosses the whole globe. When you ask a lot of people about certain boxers, they don't know their names. And everywhere I've been going, I just talk about Anthony and I don't have, I'm global, so it's just such a good fight for the sport of boxing, and people will think I will die, but I will show them why I can rise against all odds and beat him.
Everyone's been wanting to see happen. Who will be the king of the United Kingdom? And who will be the queen of the Too soon? I'm praying that boxing doesn't happen to this fight, and what I mean by that is politics. People trying to take more money than they deserve. Fuck the money, get in there, make fucking history. This is one of the biggest fights that could happen over this past decade. Make it fucking happen, Eddie Hearn. Make it fucking happen, Frank Warren. Make it happen, Tyson. Make it happen, Anthony Joshua. We don't need fucking excuses. Don't let boxing ruin this fight. Get in the fucking ring and fight like men.
£1 million on Paul to knock Joshua out, calling it a genuine 50-50th fight. Jake fired back by offering £10 million on himself to win. Other voices are less forgiving. Tony Bellew called the fight dangerously insane. George Groves dismissed it as meaningless, saying Joshua deserves legacy-defining fights.
The discussions with AJ are as follows. We will be ready to fight November, December. We are planning life without Jake Paul. But if that is for real, of course, we take that fight in a heartbeat. I don't just think Jake's doing it just purely for publicity, but at the same time, will he actually do it? We'll find out soon, but we're up for it. But we can't just live in the world of waiting for Jake Paul. So we're going to fight December, maybe early January.
Not sideshow events. Simon Jordan labelled the idea ludicrous, while Derek Chisora slammed the WBC for considering giving Paul a ranking, calling it a disgrace to boxing. Meanwhile,
Jake Paul could last 3 rounds with Anthony Joshua. 3, 2, 1. You've seen he's called him out, presumably.
Yeah, in 2026. I mean, that's like me saying I'm going to go for the gold at the 2028 Olympics for surfing. It's clickbait, but he might just be mad enough to have a go. It's very dangerous, very dangerous. I mean, you saw a guy who has the same size as AJ and who has much more ability than Jake Paul, which is Francis Ngannou. And you saw what happened to him, and that was scary for a while. So, yeah, we can joke about it, but I don't recommend it for Mr. Paul.
I like Jake. He's a good promoter, very good promoter. And he's a funny guy. He's got a great sense of humour, got good people around him, the key, so they know their business. There's a massive weight disparity, and that's a tough thing to give away, especially with somebody who's got so much physical advantage over him, and he's a young guy, AJ. He's not an old guy, he's a young guy. Will it happen? Who knows? Anything happens sometimes in our sport. But I think that is a big ask of Jake beating him. Big ask.
Where are you on this nonsense?
Where am I? I can't see it happening. I can't. Although yes, lots of money, so on and so forth. I can't see it. I just can't. It just obviously as someone who's been a unified heavyweight world champion going in against Jake, but it doesn't sit right. Yeah, and it's like I'm also talking from a health and safety factor. It's like he's maybe a cruiserweight.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua's
He's been with AJ and Frank Bruno up there, the past, the current. So you're in now, son. You're in the deep end, and he's a good kid and a great fighter. I'm sure people are going to love being part of the journey.
Yeah, I know you're in a bit of a rush here, so I'll move on to Tyson Fury. Are you shocked that Tyson Fury announced he's going to come back to ring? And did you expect him to want Usyk rather than AJ?
I think that he's always going to want to avenge a defeat. I mean, look, he feels that he won both of those fights. You know, I thought they were very close. Don't think he won them, but you know, maybe he does fight Usyk again. We can't control what Fury does. I gave up trying to do that years ago. You've seen from the response online, no one's really interested in Fury against Usyk 3, and everyone wants the AJ fight. But the minute I come out and start saying this and saying that, it probably rolls us back. So what I'm going to say is, good luck, Tyson Fury. Do whatever you want to do. Hopefully, it involves giving the public the biggest fight the country's ever had.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, 50-50 fight. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I just said in another interview, great if it is. I mean, if it is, then you've got no problem seeing it. But when AJ... I mean, decapitate's a strong word, but you know, when he renders Jake Paul unconscious like he did to Francis Ngannou, don't then say, oh well, it was Jake Paul. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when AJ beat Francis Ngannou, Ngannou just had a fight that could have gone either way with Tyson Fury. Then AJ poleaxed him, and everyone just said he's just an MMA fighter. Do you know what I mean? Jake Paul's not Francis Ngannou. But as I said before, if you want to see Jake Paul exit the boxing world, make the fight.
Last one, what next for Dave Allen?
Well, Dave Allen's been an incredible project the last couple of months. I mean, look, we've been talking to Deontay Wilder, we've been talking to Joseph Parker.
Very big, strong heavyweight, and if he turns it on, it's not just a risk of a knockout, it's a much bigger risk. So I can't see it personally, but it's good talking point, I guess.
Joe Rogan questioned Paul's timeline, joking that delaying until 2026 might be about bulking up with steroids rather than improving boxing skills. He warned that Joshua is a one-punch knockout artist and that Paul could be flattened just like Francis Ngannou was. Despite all the criticism, Paul's confidence remains unshaken. He insists Joshua is beatable and believes his rising star power, along with global fan interest, makes the fight inevitable. Fans remain divided. Some see it as a money-grab circus that risks Joshua's legacy, while others admit it would break records, especially if broadcast on Netflix. One fan summed it up, from Nate Robinson to Anthony Joshua, no one could have predicted this. So, what do you think? Does Jake Paul deserve a WBC ranking, or is it a stain on boxing's history? Would Anthony Joshua's reputation grow or suffer by fighting him? Share your thoughts in the comments. Please like and subscribe my YouTube channel.